Next is going to be Nate. Let's see what team Nate is going to have. Hey Tampa Bay. Nate is going to be the Bucks.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to this early morning stream. I want to show some love to my boy, my bro KD, and this league called All the Dawgs. It just started up. So I ended up with a team in the NFC South. I actually wanted to play with the Falcons, but ended up getting the opportunity to play with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, you see me do a couple streams on them. They made the Super Bowl a couple times in my league, and that's the team I ended up with. So, hey, we rocking out with the Buccaneers. But first thing first, shout out to All the Dawgs. My boy, he's one of the best Madden players around, and he's getting an opportunity to run the league. He ran All the Smoke last year. Shout out to him and Darrell. They ran a league last year together, and you seen me call a couple of their Super Bowls. So he decided to run one this time around. And again, shout out to him. I'm looking forward to see how successful his league turned out to be. Tevin Ratcliffe, what's going on, bro? He's going to co-commission the league. He's checking in real quick. But I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the league, as you see. And really, before I get started with the team, I am in an interesting position with the Buccaneers because Tampa, in real life, they made the playoffs, went 9-8 under Baker Mayfield. But, you know, in Madden, you do things a little bit different because we go multiple seasons in the league. We have a real life draft class. We do a lot of different things that your standard leagues may not do. But basically, with the league per se, this is a different scenario than the real life league. So basically, let's get a chance to look at our team. But I'll show the highlights of week 1 game after I dive into my team. So we'll go there first. But hey, my boy checking in. What's up, KD? He's the head commissioner of the league. He said, hey, Tampa Bay. Yeah, man. But again, as y'all see, my offense don't have a high rate, and you'll get a chance to see the offense in a little bit. Defensively is at 85 overall, and the team as a overall is at 80. So not the highest rated team, but again, we're gonna make do what it can. So let me pull up my roster so you guys can get a chance to see what my team looks like. I'm gonna start at the QB position just so I can show you the roster. My boy Tyree checking in, man. You know you can join the league. You never said anything about it, man. You know you can join the league, bro. My boy Rail checking in. He said, let's hear for the Buccaneers. Hey, man. All right. Let me let this catch up on stream real quick. Let me see if it comes up. Oh, it's not even live. My bad, y'all. Let me get back live on here. My fault. My apologies, everyone. Decided talking to the comments, but all right, here we go. Now, oh, by the way, they said the Steelers are open for anybody that's tuned in that's not in the league. My boy Darrell checking in. What's up, bro? What's going on, man? Good to see you watching the show. All right, so going into my team, my quarterback is Stetson Bennett. As you see, I did trade Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has to be paid at the end of this season. I did not want to have to pay a quarterback for this league, and it's nothing against having to pay quarterbacks. Of course, it has to be done in real life, but I'd rather rock out with a rookie. He had a good week 1, by the way, so I'm gonna build him up. I'm gonna go over to my running backs so you guys get a chance to see what my running back position is looking like. Let it come up on the screen. Still got Rachaad White on the team. Rachaad White is more of my power back. He'll be a power back on my team, basically. He will get reps. He got a touchdown last night, so he'll get his opportunities to perform, but it's going to be a three back system. Sean Tucker, the second running back on the team, the rookie out of Syracuse. I'm going to let his face come up before I continue to talk about him. He actually had 90 yards rushing in week 1, had 2 touchdowns for me. He probably will be my running back 1 for the foreseeable future. So I'm going to rock out with him as I need you to pick the yards up running back. Now, it could change week by week. may not be my guaranteed number one running back, but he will be a big part of my offense as far as the rushing attack. And last but not least, we'll go down to the third running back. His name is Kurt Merritt. He's a second-year player out of Arkansas State. He's a 93 speed. He's going to be more of my receiving back. He will get times to carry the ball because he is the faster of the three running backs on the roster. So he might be able to hit certain plays quicker than maybe Sean Tucker and Rashad White will. But again, all three of them going to be involved. I don't really care about the overall rankings because, again, my offense, I don't really care about who's the high tier back. If you're going to make plays for me, you're going to get on the field. So these are my three running backs. I'm going to skip past my fullback and goes to my wide receiving core. All right. I still have Mike Evans as my number one wide receiver. I'm going to pay him this offseason. Mike Evans is Mike Evans. I mean, real life, Madden, one of the best receivers you want to have on your team and in the game. I mean, he basically going to make moves regardless. You get the ball to him, he's going to make a play. And he'll probably eventually catch an age reduction. For the ones who just tuned in that don't watch Madden or are not a part of the Madden community, an age is an age reduction. You get a chance to play with the guy to take him back to the age of 20. So he'll probably pick up upgrades at that point. I'm just not going to do it at this moment because, for one, I want to go ahead and pay him, make sure he's back on the team, make sure he's part of the long-term plan. Tevin Ratcliffe said big play Mike. Tev is a big fan of Mike Evans. You may see him play a lot with Mike Evans on his rosters, by the way. Okay, you want to go down to my wide receiver 2. I'm going to let it come up on the screen. The rookie out of Nebraska. You probably heard his name a lot during that winning streak for Tampa Bay in real life, Trey Palmer. He's my wide receiver 2. I'm going to get a chance to build him and let him truly become the second wide receiver in this offense because I more so run like a vertical offense. I need one or two speedsters here and there to really go out and make a play in. He's going to be my guy that I'll trust at some point throughout the season. My third wide receiver is Rakim Jarrett, the wide receiver out of Maryland, another rookie. Let his face come up on the screen. He's going to he'll get involved. He didn't get involved week 1 because I'm kind of trying to work with the two receivers that are going to be that's going to be next that I'll mention. But he will get his opportunities this season. He just haven't got them yet. So he is a part of the roster for this season. Moving down to the fourth wide receiver is Devin Tompkins. He is currently going to be my slot receiver in my offense. So you will get a chance to see him get some chances to make plays. He's the slot guy at this moment. So he'll get a chance to get on the field. And then at the bottom, you got Devon Allen, the rookie out of the second-year player out of Oregon. He's another guy. I'm letting him come up on the screen. He's another guy that'll get reps in my offense. He just didn't get a chance to really show up the first week, but he will get a chance to play as the season goes along. But moving on to the tight end position, I'm going to let it come up on the screen before I get talking about those guys if the tight ends come up. Okay, Cade Otton is still my starting tight end. He actually had a couple of big receptions in the week 1 game, and he'll get involved. Like when he gets the ball, he'll get a chance to make his plays. I still get more and more for me with my tight end position, so we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season with him. The second tight end on the team is actually a guy that's been a Buccaneer before, but I brought him back in free agency last night. His name is O.J. Howard. They actually drafted him in Tampa. He was part of the Jameis Winston crew when they first got there. So he'll get his chances to make plays. I don't really feed the tight end too much, but if they're open, I give them an opportunity to really make a play. So that's really what he's here for. And then the third string tight end is Tanner Connor. He's more so of a body. He's going to come up on the screen. He's more so of a body on the team, but he will definitely get his opportunity to make a play here and there. He's not a set number one guy for me. But again, this will be the third string tight end. But moving on to the offensive line position. And my left tackle, when it comes on the screen, you should all pretty much know who he is. Let it come up on the screen. And all you that's watching, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in so far. Tristan Wirfs is the superstar left tackle for the Buccaneers. I will say this for the people that are watching that are in the league, he will be on the block. He will be on the block. I want to move him for probably a high draft pick and maybe another key lineman or something like that, or maybe a key position to replace him, because he's going to have to get his rookie deal. No, he actually has a 5th-year option next year. But the state of my roster, and I will go to my team salaries when I'm done showing the roster, is the reason I'm trying to move him. Because you get to a position where you're trying to have the flexibility and have the money to build a roster while keeping key pieces together. So he's a guy that's probably going to be on the block. The left guard position, I show it, but he's not going to be a part of the future. He's just there. So he won't be fine throughout the first season. The draft, I will definitely replace him after the draft. It's Matt Filer. He will not be a long-term Buccaneer, so I'm going to just keep on past him and move on to the next guy. Let's go to the center position. A couple of these guys won't be here after this first season. Ben Jones is a veteran out of UGA, long-term veteran. He's just here for first season. He's not going to be back after this season as well. Moving on to the right guard position. They're actually starting a rookie there. Let's let it come up on the screen first. It is Cody Mock, the right guard out of North Dakota State. He's there starting right now, but we'll see. We'll see if he develops throughout the season and earn his way into the second season lineup. And then at right tackle, the Buccaneers actually they actually did a good job at right tackle in 22. They picked up Luke Goeke out of Central Michigan. He actually is their starting right tackle in real life. We'll see. He may stay. I may let him rock out with the team, but we'll see. But moving on to the defensive line, I actually made some major moves with this side of the ball. So this side of the ball is going to look totally different from what you know the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be. But I'm going to let the left end come up on the field. I traded for Danielle Hunter. I gave a first-round pickup and acquired Danielle Hunter, the defensive end from the Minnesota Vikings. He's been a key staple piece for the Vikings. In real life, he's probably going to hit free agency. He's going to be one of the highly sought-after defensive ends in the NFL. Had to bring him in. He kind of fits my defensive scheme. I actually like to run a 4-3 defense, and having solid edge rushers are key on my team. So he's one of them. I also made another big move, adding to the other side of that defensive line. Bring it up on the screen. The other side of the ball is the guy that you all know very well, future Hall of Famer, multiple Super Bowl champion winner, Von Miller. Shout out to my boy Buddy, got the Buffalo Bills in the league. I asked about him, made a pretty good trade to get him, and got a chance to add him onto the roster. So looking forward to it. He had 2 sacks in last night's game. Look forward to see what he can do for the rest of the season. Moving on to the defensive tackle position. Let's go to the DT position. This got to be my boy Antoine. My 4th week too. I'm not playing the defensive. Hey man, I haven't beat you this year, so hey, you know what you doing against me, man. I don't know. Vita Vea is my starting defensive tackle still. He's a big run stopper for the Buccaneers in real life. One of my favorite defensive tackles. I hate playing them as a Falcons fan in real life. So big piece of the Buccaneer defense. And I'm starting the rookie Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh and let him come up on the screen. He was a guy I was highly a fan of coming out of college. The Buccaneers picked him up. He's going to probably develop well for the Buccaneers. It may be that guy to pair along with Vita Vea going forward. So I'm going to be building him throughout this league. But moving on to my linebacker position, my linebackers are kind of young. I more so like to have high-speed linebackers that can roam the field. That's one big part of my defense. I like to keep that as far as the team. Trenton Simpson, the rookie out of Clemson, I got him in a trade with shout out to Nick Green and the Baltimore Ravens in the league. We made a trade and I was able to get Trenton Simpson. He's a really solid linebacker. I cannot wait to see how he develops on my roster. Moving on to the middle linebacker position is a guy that you should all know very well. He was a big part of that 2020 Super Bowl run for the Buccaneers. And it is none other, let's come on the screen, none other than Devin White, the fourth-year guy at LSU. I got to pay him this offseason. He's a big part of my, again, he's one of those high-speed linebackers I like to have. Big fan of his. I actually would love to see the Falcons pick him up in real life, but that's a topic for another show and another day. But moving on to the right side linebacker position, let it come up on the screen. I actually made a trade for that position as well. But let's let it come up on the screen. Right now, it's a young rookie, Yasir Abdullah. Shout out to KD and the Jags. We did a trade for a late round pick to acquire him. So I actually got 3 solid speed linebackers to, assist my front 4. Because those guys are definitely going to they're definitely the bread and butter of my defense. So looking forward to see how these guys can develop behind that defensive line. Moving on to my corner position. So get a chance to show everyone the corners on the team. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate it. So we got Jamel Dean. He's still on the roster. The Bucks re-signed him in real life. And he's a big part. He's right now the second corner, even though he's higher rated than the number 2 corner on the team, which is Bryce Callahan. I'm going to show him. He got one of my ARs on the roster. And them two are going to be key factors on this defensive backfield. The third string corner, Christian Izien, he is the rookie out of Rutgers. He got an interception last night in his first game of the season. Actually, Callahan, him and Isaiah Dunn, the guy that's going to be below him, all got an interception last night. They had a good start to the season, good second half. So these right now are my 3 starters. As you see, all of my corners are at least 93 speed or higher. The Madden tree, I'm sure for the ones that don't play Madden, Madden does have a specific coaching staff tree where your corner speed can be up at least 1 point or 2 points at a max of 3. So those guys have gotten that upgrade, and I look forward to seeing it, how it plays out for my type of defense. So that's going to be fun to play with and watch. Moving on to the free safety position. Let it come up on the screen before I get into it. It's Antoine Winfield. He still was an all-pro for the Buccaneers this year. Him and Jesse Bates were 2 of the best safeties in the league all season long. I cannot believe Madden didn't give him any type of trade. They got him a free start. Crazy. But he's another guy I got to pay this offseason. So he's going to be a part of the Buccaneers' future. And then last but not least, I'm moving over to the strong safety position. I made another trade for a key piece on this defense. Let it come up on the screen. It's Kyle Duggar out of the New England Patriots. Shout out to Ryan and the Patriots that are in the league. He made a trade for Kyle Duggar. Definitely needed that type of player on my roster. But before I dive into the salary, I actually see the question on the bottom of the screen. What was the week 1 score? Good question that you're asking. I'm going to switch it over to the week 1 highlights and then I talk about the game, I guess, after that. So here's my week 1 highlights of the game against the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucks know how to shine. Hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucks know how to shine. Give a cheer for the Buccaneers. Give a cheer for the Buccaneers.
Hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucks know how to shine.
Hey, Tampa Bay, the Bucks know how to shine. Give a cheer for the Buccaneers. Go Bucks! Give a cheer for the Buccaneers.
Stand up.
Give a cheer for the Buccaneers.
Go Bucks! Because we know we're on the top.
What they need to keep doing. Defenders had intercepted. Inside the 20.
Stand up and shout.
Go Bucks.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Was shot right. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on.
Okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, CD always a little extra.
All right, and as you see, that final score was 40-21. I got a big first week win against the Minnesota Vikings. I got the Chicago Bears next week. But here's some of the stats from the first week. I won 40-21. I actually had a crazy second half after it kind of started slow. As you see, the offensive yards were kind of even. The big turn of the game was the turnovers. I didn't turn the ball over at all. He had 3 picks. So that played a big factor in winning the ball game. I pull up a stat line real quick. I didn't go crazy stat-wise, so don't look for anything crazy as far as the stat live as I showed it to you all. As it comes up on the screen, give it a second. Let's see. Should be ready to come up on the screen in any second. Now, I'm make sure this thing is still live, though. It is. So it should be. I'm a little bit behind. Hold on. I'm like 2 minutes behind. My fault. Okay, there we go. Stetson Bennett had a $194 touchdown, no picks. Kirk Cousins had 347 with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions on the afternoon. Let me go to the rushing numbers. Actually had, like I said, I had a good day at the office running the ball with my running backs. Sean Tucker was 8 of 91 with 2 rushing touchdowns. And Rashad White had 2 for 36. He had that one big rushing touchdown for like 31 yards after one of the interceptions he saw in the highlight clip. So good day at the office. Their rushing attack really get going yesterday. Let's go to the receiving total. He actually got a big day out of Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown had a great day at the office. He was 6 for $125 with no touchdowns. Mike Evans had 4 for 91 in the touchdown for me, as you see, is going to come up on the screen shortly. And I didn't really do too much as far as the receiving game. K. Otto was my second leading receiver after that. KJ Hamler had a touchdown for the Vikings, and so did Josh Oliver. He was 7 of 62. So he got his rush and got his receivers going pretty well in that game. Let's look at the tackles. That's going to come up on the screen. Going to the defensive side of the ball. Bryce Callahan led the team in tackles at 7 tackles. So did Antoine Winfield. He also had an interception. Let me go to the sack total as you see it come up on the screen. My defensive line had a total of 3 sacks on the afternoon. Von Miller led the team with 2 sacks. Dean Lowry had a sack for the Minnesota Vikings. And Daniil Hunter also got that key 4th down sack that you saw in the game. Interception-wise, and let it come up. As I mentioned already, Bryce Callahan did have an interception late in the 4th quarter to kind of put this game out of reach. And then Isaiah Dunn, he's the 4th string guy. I didn't bring him up on the screen earlier for me because he's just there. He's kind of a body on the team. He got an interception to early in the game. And then Christian Izien also got an interception for that interception that he got actually turned the whole ball game, because the interception turned into that first touchdown that gave us the lead for the first time in the game. Well, actually the second time in the game. We had a field goal lead of 10-7. So that's the stat line for that game. It was a good first week. Got to keep it up though, because I'm in a good division. Shout out to the other guys in my division. Shout out to Justin Brown and the Panthers and Tyreek Johnson, the Saints, Johnny Thomas and the Falcons. You see them pop up a lot because we're in the same division. But let me go to the team salaries. I know I broke down my team. I want to show you all why I took the approach that I did, actually, with my roster. Okay, so as you see right now, I have $2 million of cap space at this moment, but I have a $112 million cap penalty. So overall, in this league, we do have it where we have the option after season number 1 of clearing the cap. So thankfully, we get the option of clearing the cap, and a lot of Tampa players, offensive and defensive, both have a lot of new their brand. Let me put it like this: they have to be paid after the season. So that's going to be something to pay attention to in real life, because this is a situation that you're getting a chance to see matter-wise in real life, which is pretty cool, that you get a chance to get the opportunity to say, you get a chance to build a roster and put it together. So the reason that I was thrown out there by Tristan Wirfs as a potential guy that's going to be moved on from, somebody else will pay him. But when I'm looking at the situation long-term, their 5th year is his 5th year option. He'll be an $18.2 million left tackle this offseason, next season. So that's why I'm trying to get as much money cleared up to pay the key guys of this year's roster. Also, as you see Antoine Winfield, the free safety, he's up for a contract. He'll get paid. He will absolutely be back on my team. I'm not letting him go. So just a heads up. Does anybody think he's going to hit free agency? Third person is Von Miller. So funny story about this contract. In real life, Von Miller's contract is absolutely out of pocket. And you wouldn't want to do this trade in real life, to be real with you. But when you trade for a player, their bonus is gone. As you see, he's going to only make $1 million over the next 2 seasons as a member of the Buccaneers. He's going to get a $17 million jump into the 3rd season in the league. So there's a lot of money that's going to be saved by not having to pay him simply. The next guy is Mike Evans. Mike Evans, $23.7 million was his contract is for now. He will get paid He will get paid this season. I'm not even going to let him get to the offseason to have to get paid. I'm going to pay him early on. So definitely going to be a part of this team long term. As you can see, Vita Vea got a contract extension, I want to say 2 years ago. So he's in the 2nd season of that contract. And that's what his contract will be coming for. We will have the option to restructure his contract when it comes time for next season. So he'll be able to not be such a cap penalty until later down the road. Also, Danielle Hunter, he's also up for contract with the Minnesota Vikings in real life. So I got to pay him in my Buccaneers roster. Just let him come on the screen. So he'll be back on this team too. I'm not letting him walk out the building either. So just get out your head. So moving on to the next guy is going to be Jamel Dean. Jamel Dean is already paid. He got paid last year, and he returned to the Buccaneers for 4 more seasons. Moving on to Bryce Callahan. He's a guy I picked up in free agency. I'm going to pay him this offseason as well. Like I said, the Buccaneers are in a situation where they have a lot of guys that are on the roster who has to get paid or had to get paid. I may even go to my transactions just to kind of show you guys what I did trade-wise to kind of get this thing under wraps. But that's Bryce Callahan got to get paid. As I showed y'all, Kyle Duggar got to get paid. Devin White is in his rookie 5th-year option. He has to be paid. So that's a guy I'm going to also add into my – going to return to the roster. But just as you're seeing, these guys are having to be paid in real life. So those I'm not going to go all the way. Tim Records and Ted will pay him that left tackle. I know you will. I know we've been in conversations about a trade. And the kickers also – so those are the only guys I'm going to really show because that's my top half of my roster that has to get paid. Like throughout the duration of this league, you will see me start to fill out my roster with rookies, with veteran players that's going to fit the roster, make a good, be able to pay them long term and build something going forward. But as you can see, the cap shows 225 for this year. It's only 113 million tied into players. That's gonna free up a lot of cap space for 2024. And then, of course, the draft, I'll be able to address who I need to. And like I said, this is a real life draft. We will have the draft streamed on here when we get to that point of the season. We got a long way to go before we get there. But that will make the first season fun. You get a chance to shape your roster up like you want to. And for people, there are some people that don't like clearing the cap, but you got to get an opportunity to – that's the beauty of franchise. You get an opportunity to put your squad together from the start. It's kind of shape out how you want your team to be going forward long term. That's what you kind of want your team to be like as you continue to build a roster in the league. So I'm looking forward to what this team has the potential of being. So it's fun. Like I'm looking forward to working with the Buccaneers. I will do some more shows talking about the team, talking about the league. But once again, we know, and I'm proud of you for giving it a chance this time around. We know we done had this conversation off air 50 million times. But once again, it's been fun getting a chance to see what I can actually do with these Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, gonna be a fun league without question. Week 2, I got Chicago Bears. Week 3, I got the Philadelphia Eagles. But I'm going to wrap it up. This is my first week. Got a long way to go, long season to go, but felt good to get to open off the league with a win first week. Shout out to all the dogs. Shout out to all the users in the league. It's going to be a fun one, man. And again, we're going to have more content to come, so stay tuned, watch more streams, and get familiar with the guys in the league, man. I'm not the only one that stream out here. You got a lot of the guys in the league. Just be on the mindful when you see them come up. So that's this show. But until next time, this has been Hey Tampa Bay. The Bucks are going to shine. Let's keep it on. Shout out, y'all. Have a good day.